Good morning. It is Thursday morning. It's the 18th of September. Tropical storm Mario, not what was a tropical storm, is now moving into California. We're seeing thunderstorms in parts of Southern California, down by Bakersfield as well, out by Indio, out by the White Mountains. We're seeing some thunderstorms, and all this moisture continues to stream into the state, into the southern part of the state right now. But you can see it working its way. We've got some cumulus clouds just offshore off Santa Barbara, not Santa Barbara, but Monterey right now. So good morning. It's going to be an active period. This time, the next 72 hours are going to be interesting because we have the potential for thunderstorms throughout the state, widely scattered. Right now, I'm seeing some pretty good signs from these storms. In other words, there's pretty good moisture. So in the thunderstorms, we're seeing some pretty good rainfall. That doesn't mean it won't dry out as we go further north, but the idea that these could become dry thunderstorms is definitely a possibility. So we have concerns for that. So we'll keep our eyes on that. We can take a look at the radar right now. This is down in Lancaster, down towards Santa Clarita to the east, 29 Palms. I'll put a loop on this. And what you'll see, let's see if I can find a loop on this bad boy. Here we go. Right. Got all my controls all worked up here. Well, we won't put a loop on it. We'll just look at the area around 29 Palms. Right now, scattered showers and thunder showers showing up there. You can see the lightning hits. This moisture, as the day heats up, will become more volatile. This, again, is from a tropical storm. Mario never was a hurricane, but produced a lot of moisture. And what happened was, I think sea surface temperatures a little warmer off the coast, allowed for this thing to get a little further north, not intact as a tropical storm, but just intact as a depression, a tropical depression, or even just a disturbance. And that moisture is now here, and that moisture is now creating thunderstorm potential for pretty much the entire state. We are seeing thunderstorms right now down around Bakersfield. I think if I pop in here, I'm just changing radars is what I'm doing. So offshore in Santa Barbara right now, you can see you've got some scattered showers. Most of this activity is staying offshore in Southern California, but will gradually fill in, and you'll see that in the computer models coming up. Right now, out down towards Malibu, we've got rain showers. I'm not seeing any lightning strikes there yet, but as the day goes on, lightning a thing, most definitely. And let's see, I'll pull up another radar. You can see how far, I think the thing that's most informative about this radar is you can see how far north the showers, the moisture is. And you can see here, I'll pull this off. This is up all the way to Big Sur. And you see that's heavy moisture. Now, none of it's come on shore. It's tracking offshore right now, but as this low gets closer out of the west, this low tracks, and you'll see that too. It's going to track this thing a little further inland, and that's when the thunderstorms will be a better opportunity for places like San Francisco Bay Area. We have thunder showers, or not thunder showers, but we have showers just offshore. This is as of 7 o'clock this morning. So, and again, it's just hanging on. Let's see if I can find, I want to find that loop for you. There it is. Okay. So watch what happens when I put a loop on it. You'll see it just kind of, so it's really not being driven by much of anything. It's just kind of wafting in, and that's the slow-moving nature of this, and that's the 2 to 3 days of under the gun for showers, thunder showers, and even some flood watches in parts of Southern California. So we will look at that. So interesting 3-day period coming up, and again, CAL FIRE is paying attention. Thus far, I've noted there's the moisture plume. And this is a live picture. This was this morning. This is down out towards the desert a little bit. I just wanted you to see the showers, the shafting. And what you're looking for, the lower level, see the rain shaft off in the distance here? So that's wet. That's rain hitting the ground. So these are pretty wet because you're further south. Some of that dry air will start to filter. And those are all rain shafts. This is this morning within the last hour. And this is one shot down towards the desert. This is another shot. I didn't pick up any lightning on these storms. There was lightning with some of these storms, but the fast forward aspect of these cameras, it won't allow to pick it up because they're frame grabs. And then there's more scattered showers out by San Bernardino. And this is all right now. And then this last shot is, I think, out by Bakersfield. I'm pretty sure. It doesn't matter. That's how it's all going to look today. And you see the scattered showers. That's what subtropical moisture does. It is, in terms of September, it's not a worst case scenario. There's way worst case scenarios for fire and such, but it's a worst case scenario. You know what I mean? In other words, it's not the worst. It's just kind of like, yeah, September, thunderstorms, don't want them. There's that flash flood watch in San Bernardino County. This extends all the way to, let's see, I can push it this way. It extends out into Southern California. And you can kind of see that footprint up through San Luis Obispo, all the way up through Mariposa. And then I'll drop it down. I'm just looking at the Weather Service watches and warnings. And you can see the flood watch all the way to Santa Maria and Lompoc, almost to Lompoc, and just outside of Santa Barbara. So most of this in Southern California looks like it's going to lean towards being a little bit inland. So we'll go right to the models. Let me move this again, sort of in the way. I'm up early this morning. I got some stuff I got to do. I'm going to go surf too. But I wanted to get this in because it's an interesting day, right? And it's going to be. So I hope you have these models bookmarked, this HRRR. Go to the COD website. And the HRRR is what I would use today, plus the live radar. HRRR is this. It's hour by hour, and it updates every hour. So you can see the plume moving northward. Very little structure to it. So it's an air mass thing. And then this is it. This is this afternoon, and we'll do with that what you will, but these are significant thunderstorms here. This is down towards Bakersfield, down towards the White Mountains, down towards Bishop, out towards, Bakersfield. It's Fresno, and then let's see what that plume moves. So there, and you see it really skirts the Bay Area, and it moves, and it kind of rotates. You can see that this area start to rotate back through. So that's the timing. In terms of specificity, let's see what Tahoe looks like there under the gun certainly by, Tahoe kind of gets a little break there, doesn't it? That's Thursday afternoon. So yeah, I mean, Tahoe looks like it kind of gets into the mix somewhere around Friday morning. So this event goes right through Thursday, Friday, and a little bit into Saturday. Okay, so that's the HRRR. That's the one I would lean on a little bit just because it's updating all the time. And then this is the North American model. And you'll see the plume come up through. And again, this is just showing areas of precip, but like that yellow area, that's going to be thunder. You're going to see strong dynamics as this day gets longer. That's why most of this stuff, see that in the afternoon, how much more aggressive it all looks, right? It gets more yellow. That's the heating from the day, from the ground. So this is the North American model. This is Friday morning as well. So Bay Area, it kind of misses, it looks like Santa Barbara, kind of through that central swath. Okay, let's go back. Let's look at the HRRR. I just want to revisit that. So, yeah, they both are pretty, the path of this moisture seems to be kind of Point Conception to Lake Tahoe. Something like that. But again, subtropical moisture is tough. It's a tough one to forecast, and just because it's not an organized system, it's air mass. So it's just like this very humid, moist, unstable air, which has come from Tropical Storm Mario, is now really far north. And remember we talked the other day about heat engines? That's what these storms are. Hurricanes are heat engines. All the heat from the tropics wants to move north and then disperse. Well, that's what we're seeing right now. Is it's dispersing, right? But it's also because you're balancing the heat budget, right? If it's too hot in one place, it creates a temperature gradient, and that's blah, blah, blah. But that's what we're seeing is this air mass just coming and spreading out. Now, it's sort of like, it's not a huge deal until the sun hits the ground or until it hits the side of a mountain range and gets mechanically lifted. The sun will heat the ground, that'll lift it with using a thermodynamic, and the mountain ranges, right, topography. So this is rainfall accumulation this is through, and you kind of get an idea, this is through Sunday afternoon. So you see the rainfall, not very deep. So you see how light the rain is up in here. If your thunderstorms up there are going to have a tendency to be drier. Down here you can see that they are getting more rainfall, or forecast to get more rainfall. So the best thing to do on this, here's the forecast highs from today. The best thing to do on this is I don't be back tonight, but I'll be back tomorrow. But I would definitely look at I just load up the HRRR. If you're, if you're concerned about your neighbors or relatives, or you're concerned about something. Right now, the watches and warnings are minimal. So hopefully there's enough water, especially looks like LA is the Southern California, from Bakersfield and Fresno South, pretty good moisture content in the atmosphere. These are the highs from today. We're about a little cooler than yesterday. But further north, you see it dry out. But as it dries out, there's also less opportunity for those thunderstorms. So we shall see. HRRR, and then you could back it up with the NAM. And look at the GFS too if you want, or the Euro. But I think you want a rapid update model, plus you want to pull up the radar, because radar is going to give you what's happening now. This is the national map. This is earthquakes. We'll look at that another time. Right now, these are all the earthquakes that we've had in the last 24 hours, which isn't bad. And the triple points had one in the last 24 hours. So that was this afternoon or yesterday. And then surf line, swell's coming up. So you'll notice that surf's come up a little bit. This gets bigger. I actually called Mark Sponsor the other day because I was looking at this thing right here, trying to figure out what that is. Because that was they were calling 33 feet in the swell window, which would be next week. But it's like, no, that's on the 26th. But Marky goes, no, he goes, dude, just give it a run or two and it'll mellow out. Mark Sponsors a awesome wave forecaster. And I'm a meteorologist. I look at waves, I pay attention to them, but I defer. Ocean Beach fog today, right now. Showers offshore, well offshore of Ocean Beach. This is Cardiff. Little bigger swell, glassy. Sea surface temperature right now in Cardiff is 70 degrees. Air temperature 71. Looks like a fun day. This is Mount Shasta. The moisture will get up here certainly by tonight or tomorrow morning, and they have a chance for thunderstorms. So you can see it's, a little bit of moisture showing up above the mountain there. This is Mount Shasta at sunrise, which has yet to come up. That's how early I am today. Kind of motoring through this because I got stuff I got to do, but I didn't want to miss you today because I think today's kind of an important weather day to set up the next couple days. I'm not freaked out at all, just more be aware. This is Mount Whitney, and you can see the instability. There's thunderstorms on the backside, on the west side of this mountain right now, and then something dark coming in there. Yeah, that's rain shafts. So this part of the state's going to start off getting the rain now. These are jellyfish, and they didn't. I almost thought they were going to go away. So what can we do? Let's just look at the GF. Let's look at this one more time. Sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm just... There it goes. So this is, let's see, this is this morning. And then this is this afternoon, right? So, right? And then you see that swath kind of cut. That's that thing I was telling you about. It kind of cuts. This is what this is the solution it's got now. It's cutting from Point Conception, this main swath right here. This stuff's all game in here, and there's pretty good moisture with that. When we start getting up into these northern climes, we're going to see less moisture available. So that's why it's nice to see this potentially tracking offshore or towards the east. And then Tahoe kind of gets involved in the mix by Thursday night, Friday morning. That's pretty good. Then it gets going. One of the things I'll say about subtropical moisture in this pattern we're under right now is that it doesn't forecast easily. It lingers. There's a lot of moisture in the atmosphere right now. We already have more moisture because the climate's a little warmer. We already have more moisture because the ocean is warmer, right? We talked about the humidity the other day. Now we have more moisture, third component added in to increase humidity and precipitable moisture is this subtropical moisture from a tropical storm. So you've got these big three things coming together. It's going to create thunderstorms. There's no question about that. Where and when and how much. I think the big question is rain or dry or wet. And right now it looks like it's going to be pretty decently wet, which will help for fires. But the further north you go, the less opportunity for that. The more dry air will filter in. Okay, I think I made my point. I'm not freaked out at all. I'm just more. We haven't had interesting, really. It's always interesting, but no weather like this. It requires updates and paying attention. So again, we'll take one more look at. Let's see if I can find this thing gets in the way all the time. Hope you're having a good morning. Hope you're having coffee with this. So there is the kind of the footprint, and it looks like this is the radar, right? And then this area here, this is the area that looks like see how it's just fluttering? It starts to get driven this way as this low offshore starts to drive it that way, right? There's the low. Starts to drive it that way. And we saw the low in the satellite image, this low right here. Okay, let's see. This guy right, where are you? There we are. So this guy, this low here is going to take this and shove it off. And you already see it starting to peel off right there. Okay, I'm going to roll. I will see you back here maybe tonight, probably tomorrow.